All right, we're back. All right, welcome back to a very special Shop Class podcast. Tonight we have Tae Kang. He is the director of the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools program. We have some past winners in the house joining us. Early on, we got Jay is here. We got some regulars, Peter Molinaire up in Toronto, Canada, Matt Bloomquist in Taylorville, Illinois, and Tim Zavacki in Warren County. And we got Duke Levowski out in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, so it's a good round table, and we're so lucky to have you, Tay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that incredible warm introduction. I feel like I'm about to enter a boxing or a wrestling match right now. Ron, if you decide to ever leave teaching, you can replace Michael Buffer. That's for sure. But
well,
on behalf of the whole team at Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, thanks for having me today. Really appreciate it.
No problem. We all pretend like we went to high school back in the day together, and this is just another Saturday in the backyard,
Absolutely.
Wrestling match, but you guys just came off of the big win, giving out all the prize winners, and so it must be pretty exciting. You went to the different schools and you surprised all the teachers. You want to tell us a little bit about this year's award?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me take a step back here and provide some context. Again, my name is Tae Kang. I'm the program manager of Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, which is a philanthropic initiative of the Smith Foundation. And our mission is to advance excellence in skilled trades education across the U.S. And our flagship program is our annual Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. This year, we were able to award $1.5 million to 25 outstanding skilled trades teachers and their programs. This is in large part due to the generosity of Eric Smith, the owner and founder of Harbor Freight Tools, the company, and we are part of his private foundation. And this year was an incredible year. We had 1,009 applications. That was a 30% increase from our previous record of 769 applications. We had from applications from all 50 states, and which was awesome as well. And we were happy to have 50 finalists, of which our incredible host, Ron Grossinger, was one of them. To be one of the 50 finalists, you had to basically be in the top 5% of applications, which was an incredible feat. And then we had 25 winners, right, where we announced all simultaneously on October 3rd of this past year. So just, basically a month and a half ago, right, we had 25 surprise celebrations in all across the country. And it was a truly special day to celebrate these 25 teachers and their programs. And we had our first ever deaf winner. We had our first ever winners from the great state of Alaska and Kansas and Minnesota. And who am I missing? It'll come to me. And we had our first ever winners from like two of the same schools. So it was just a really, North Dakota, perfect. Right. Thank you for that reminder. All right. So Alaska, Kansas, North Dakota, and Minnesota. We had our first ever winners from there. So, it was a really, really special day, and looking forward to talking more about the celebrations, but also this prize and the work that we do at Harbor Freight Tools for Schools.
I want to just, we took it back to kind of the overview. But I want to take it back one more. I was a finalist, and I was like, that really was a big deal. I worked my butt off, and that's what my friend Matthew Barbercheck, kind of one of your original winners, he encouraged me, and he said, "Listen, do the application, even if you don't think you're going to get in. It's a good exercise in explaining your program, explaining your career." And your teaching methods. So what Harbor Freight does is they give you some prompts. and the teachers have to go through answering these questions. So you really got to dig in and think about it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got plenty of time. And then I was like, okay, I'm like 3 weeks out, so I'll look at it like maybe once or twice a week. No, I ended up the last week of it. I ended up like every single day until it was done. Like it was like a term paper in a major college thing, you know. But thank you for making it challenging, and thank you for taking me in as a finalist. And just for full disclosure, I have you guys on the shop class podcast, even if I didn't win. You guys, you've been here before. This is like maybe 3 or 4 years that we've talked to you guys about the.
Again, Ron, thank you for having me and for your generosity. And yeah, this prize launched back in 2017, right? So this was the 7th year of the prize, and we see that it's growing each and every year. And we're always trying to find ways to improve it, but keep its main character of making it a rigorous application. But right, we're rewarding $1.5 million, right? 20 of those teachers will receive $50,000, right? Of which $35,000 will go towards their program and $15,000 goes towards themselves, right? And then we have 5 grand prize winners who each receive $100,000, with $70,000 going towards their program and $30,000 going towards themselves. And that individual money can be used however they wish, right? They can use it for home renovations, or they can go on vacation, or they can help pay down their mortgage, or their help pay for kids' college, whatever they want to use it. And for the funds for the program, we specify that it must be used for their program, and the teacher can decide however they want to use it. And it can't be used for like the textbooks for the history program, or improving the bleachers of the football stadium, right? It has to be used for the program itself. But so it is a really, really special program. And what we want to maintain the character, and we're looking for the cream of the crop, or the truly outstanding teachers who have made and continue to make a difference in the lives of their students, right? Each and every day. We know how hard but also rewarding teaching is, and we're looking for teachers who can talk about the impact that they've made, who've shown leadership in their communities, who've found innovative curriculum program, or who've installed innovative curriculum to get their students to graduate, to go on to find careers in industry or apprenticeships, or go on to whatever post-secondary opportunities that they have a deep passion and love for the trades, and getting to work with their heads, hands, and hearts in whatever they do. So we want to maintain that rigor, and we seek to do that because of how important skilled trades teaching and learning is for the economy, for our country, and helping develop a workforce that we need for the 21st century.
I just want to jump in and say, as a shop teacher, part of the reason I created, I had a lot of shop teachers help me do this. We created the Shop Class podcast. It's because the shop classes need support. They need support from outside sources. They need support from local, but also from national, and they need to share ideas. So Harbor Freight is sharing ideas. They are sharing resources, and they're sharing Harbor Freight Tools for Schools is sharing ideas and sharing resources. And that is super important. So I really want to thank you for doing that. Now, I have a question, because I know Absolutely. Your time is limited. And then we're going to go and talk with, actually, we do have 2 previous winners here.
Yes, we do.
Blue, and he does a unique program where they build houses instead of being inside a building, they build the building. I thought of that last week. I was like, oh yeah.
That's a great tagline, Matt. You might want to use that for your own.
Yeah.
Program.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take it. And then Jay does custom cars and whatnot. Amazing. So we're going to get to them, but Tae, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
when a school, okay, so you have a teacher and it's focused on the teacher. By the way, the school can't apply according to the rules. The teacher applies. And I thought that was very important. So let the teacher apply, but then they need the school to jump on board and be a part of this process of celebrating the program, celebrating the teacher. What should a school do to prepare in case a teacher does make it into, let's say, the finals, or even if they're just applying? Because it doesn't take a number of years till, you know, if you are able to make it, you do have to apply multiple years. So how should a school prepare?
That's a great question. You know, I think that's a really multifaceted question, right? I think schools can help teachers prepare by, you know, providing support, and in terms of whether on the application, right? If someone can provide an extra set of eyes and help them be like, hey, you know, this is unclear, you know, you may want to phrase it this way, or hey, don't forget about all these amazing things that you're doing, right? That you also like, right? We know that skilled trade teachers are often very humble people, all right, and that they don't want to brag about themselves, but that they're doing amazing work. And so maybe schools can, you know, their colleagues can help prod them and be like, hey, don't forget about that holiday drive you did, or don't forget about that community project that you did, right? And so so maybe that's one way schools can help, right? Obviously, schools can help by, you know, helping the program grow in their facilities and lending resources, obviously, you know, and helping boost the program already, right? But you know, what we like to do for the application is provide ample enough time, right? We provide past year we provided 7 weeks for a teacher to write their application, right? The first round of application is like 9 questions, right? Ranging from like, tell us about yourself, to like, why are you passionate about the skilled trades, to if you had a magic wand, what is one thing that you would change about this sector? But also providing kind of a learning module video where we ask teachers to watch a 10-minute video about some ideas and best practices that they can help implement into their program, and do that right away. So that's kind of the application process. And again, like we want to hear from teachers' voices. We're not looking to hear from grant writers. We're not looking to hear from principals. We want to hear from teachers. But we do think that the school can help by providing an extra set of eyes and making sure that the teacher remembers and feels confident about showcasing all the amazing work that they do each and every day. And I do want to say, you know, something about, we have Matt and Jay here, and they could talk more about all the amazing work that they do on their programs. But like, you know, I think that helps, where the school can be like, hey, Jay, like, think about your story and how unique it is, and how much passion you bring to your program, and all the cool things that you do with custom cars, right? And old classic cars, and bringing that to life, right? And helping in that sense. I do want to say also, in terms of the celebrations, right? You know, for the finalists, we let people know during the summer, right? This past year, I think we let folks know in June, right, that they were finalists. And you know, we try to give a heads up to the schools that these celebrations may be happening. We like to have enough time for the surprise planning, right, for the schools. And we very much insist and ask that the schools keep it a surprise for that special day in October. And we know that schools have often had to trick or deceive their prize-winning teacher and say like, oh, we don't know anything about it. And that is something that we ask them to do. But we do try to give the schools enough time to celebrate our awesome prize-winning teachers, for sure.
Nice. Because like, you know, the schools are on the journey, and you might not understand what's coming.
For sure. Yeah.
So when you guys contact the school, how do you do it? Like, who do you talk to first?
That's a great question. So on the application, we asked schools to list their principals, right? And so when we notify the schools that they have a winner there, it's through the principal, and we say like, congratulations, this teacher is a winner. This is the number of applications that we received, and this is what we would like to do. Can we begin to help plan this celebration? We tell them the date and say, is this date work for you? And all that jazz. So there is a lot of planning that goes into it, right? Matt's celebration happened at the home that he was building, right? And what we like to do is make sure that each celebration maintains the character of the school and of the community and of the teacher, right? So Matt's happened in there. There's other schools that are like, we would rather just surprise them in their regular classroom or in their lab. There's others who are like, we want to have a whole auditorium full of students to celebrate them, right? And that's up to them, right? We give each school the creative license and freedom to determine what celebration is best for them, and then we work with them in terms of getting like photographers and videographers and media and news people there, and maybe sometimes some elected officials, right? Ranging from U.S. governors or U.S. senators to governors to mayors to school board members, to Congress people staff. Those are all these kind of moving pieces that we seek to utilize to make the celebration a really memorable day for those teachers.
Nice. That's great. Does anybody have questions for Tae? I know Duke is in middle school, which is not part of the contest, but there are middle school teachers out there interested. And yes. We got Tim is a woodshop teacher.
Absolutely.
And he might have some questions. And then Peter's not a teacher, but he is a teacher at heart. And then we got Jay and Matt. So you guys have any questions for Tae?
I do want to add. Oh, before we get to that, I would love to add. You mentioned Jay and Matt, and also the fact that people have applied for this many years in a row, right? Jay, I believe you applied the first year we launched in 2017, kept at it, and then finally won, I believe, in 2021, right? We've had Matt, you were a finalist the year before you won. One of our winners this year was a finalist first in 2019 and was a finalist 5 years in a row until finally winning this year. He was basically the Buffalo Bills of prize winning, all right, of skilled trades teachers. And then we had another teacher who was a finalist back in 2017, or actually two of them were finalists in 2017 for the first time. Deciding not to apply, kind of took a pause, would apply here and there, and then finally won this year. And so we know that these finalists, these winners, all have different journeys, but we do encourage people to have perseverance, to work hard, and take time on the application, right? Because as you mentioned, Ron, like the application, we hope that people utilize it for other grants or for going in front of their local communities or school boards to talk about their program, or other kind of marketing and promotional efforts that they may wish to utilize. So yeah, I do want to encourage everyone out there, if you've applied before, to keep at it and to stay strong, and that this is an effort that will be every year, all right, and something that we all believe in and that Eric Schmidt truly believes in as well. So keep at it for sure.
Nice.
All right, all questions. I know I've been talking for a while.
No, it's okay.
On to questions.
Does anybody have a question for him?
I don't know. I have a I got a comment though. Even though I'm in middle school,
absolutely, Duke. Go for it.
I'm going to see how far I can get on the application process.
Okay.
Even though I'm in middle school, I might get turned down. But Rod did say it's good to self-analyze yourself. Reflect on your teaching career. So I got 27 years, and I'm going to try it. What can happen? They can turn me down. Maybe I'll slip in the cracks somehow.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, if you feel, again, I think people do find the application process to be worth it itself, right? And we hope that it's allows people to be reflective. Matt or Jay, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, one thing I was gonna just to help for encouraging people to keep on applying or apply for the first time is one, if you become a finalist, even if you don't win, you usually receive some amount of Harbor Freight gift cards as a consolation prize, which is always nice. And then two, if you watch past episodes when we had Tae on, talk about how the prize is kind of the just it's the key to the kingdom, right? It's after that, then you for me, I got to go out to LA to do the Let's Build It conference, gathering, whatever you want to call it, when all the winners come together, and that's where that's where the fun really starts. The money's kind of the carrot that gets you to go, but once you go to the Let's Build It, you get to see the other winners, past winners. Harbor Freight Tools for Schools is an amazing host. I told my principal I'm never going to another PD development unless I'm treated so well like Harbor Freight Tools for Schools does. That's pretty amazing. That was a amazing week, and if I hadn't gotten all the money for the program but was somehow wanted to do that, not knowing if that, if you never knew that money was going to be there, if you got to experience that would make you want to win the prize. That was amazing. And like I said, the money is awesome. We all want it. We all need it. It helps us a lot. But once you get to the Let's Build It with everyone else, that's where it really starts.
All right,
that's beautifully said. I'm going to provide some logic that I think you've said it so well, right? Let's Build It is a annual convening of our prize-winning teachers, right? Once a skilled trades teacher wins, right, they are welcome to join our network and community, and oftentimes a family of other skilled trades teachers, other excellent teachers, and we're trying to build this network where they share ideas and best practices with each other. They can talk about the challenges that they're facing, but also think of innovative ideas to improve the sector, right? And that's where Let's Build It comes into play. We invite all the prize winners out to Los Angeles, right? And we, as Matt graciously said, we try to host them in a very warm and caring way. And right, this last year we got to be on Marina Del Rey, so we got to see the Pacific Ocean and have some really nice meals together, but also have good hard fun, right, of talking about what's happening in their classrooms and coming up with ideas to change the landscape of skilled trades education. And we're really trying to get Jay to come out here, for one of these years. We keep inviting him, but he has other priorities or family responsibilities, which we totally understand. But we would love it if Jay and and all the prize winners to come out and really invest in themselves, right, and invest in this community and that we're really trying to build here. So yeah, Ron, you had a question about Let's Build It or the network?
Yeah, so I wanna rip the roof off the Let's Build It, because I'll be honest, part of my motivation to finally enter was that Barbercheck. We were talking with him and he says, hey, here's the thing. And actually it was both Barbercheck and Matt Bloomquist, and I'll repeat what he said, is that the money is one and the prize, that's all, and that's locally. But really, you want to get in the club of shop teachers and you want to share ideas with them at their annual conference. And I was like, man, yeah, I want to do that. So give us a little more. I know it's kind of like a private event, but can you give us a little more of a taste of what goes on and some of the fruit from these conferences?
Matt, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm all excited talking about it. I had the email out from Blair asking, potential attendees and stuff. So of course I've marked yes, and hopefully family schedule works out all summer for me to attend again. So pretty much you get another freebie, right, from Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. They pay your way to come out to I think this year, I think you guys are going to do it LA again, I think is the plan. And they host pretty much the best professional development that you'll probably ever attend as a teacher. It is unlike any other professional development that we usually get to attend as shop teachers, because it is catered to shop teachers. And it encompasses all of us, right? Whether it's ag, shop, building trades, auto, we're all there, right? You get to meet all the extra winners or the other winners. And what's cool about it is when you get there, the conversations, the way I described it was, I was fortunate enough to walk on to D1 college and play some football. And it's like going from high school football to Division I. That's the closest thing I can compare it to, because, you know, when we do professional development, we all may work with great teachers and everything. And really, I feel like on the Shop Class podcast, we're kind of getting up into this level too, where the conversations just start out so high, right? It was like when I showed up to practice first time, the competition and the level of performance is so much higher. And that's kind of what it is when you get here. It's you're an all-star amongst all-stars. You can admit that, and you should. And we earned that title and stuff. And it's also humbling, because then you think you get all hyped up from, Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, building up your ego and getting, praising you and stuff. And then you go out here and you meet these amazing teachers, and you're just like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Or, oh my God, it's such a great idea. Or, oh my gosh, you're blowing it away. Corey, when he was talking, he was $100,000 winner. And oh my God, me and Barbercheck were just sitting there. Nobody asked a question. We just let him tell a story, and we were all just mesmerized in the group of construction trade teachers, him telling his story of what he does. It's one of those things where that's exactly what it felt like when I did that in football, right? You go and you get to meet these people, and they're all stars, and they're amazing, and the coaches are a new level. And Harbor Freight Tools for Schools brings in people who work with us and prompt the conversations that are at a whole nother level. Like the hard fun, what they call it, how they describe it, is perfectly it. We do that during the day or whenever we have it all scheduled out. We have events we go attend, whether it's visiting schools, current past winter school, which was pretty awesome, seeing what their kids were doing. Or if it's, the nighttime fun or whatever, we went bowling. We all had bowling shirts and teams, and catered food and your drinks. Yeah, Corey Torp. Oh my God, amazing guy. If you guys win, get out there, talk to Corey. Love that guy.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's great. Like as I said, it's very prompted to get you in a direction to bring the best ideas out of you, have the best conversations. And it gets deep and intense fast. Sometimes it even gets emotional. Like it's like nothing else. I promise you, all the professional development we do at our own schools and districts doesn't even hold a flame to what you guys provide. And I'm not even talking about the fun, cool thing, that the fact that we're Marina Del Rey and there's the water right outside the windows, and it's a perfect 75 degrees every day in LA, and all that good stuff. It's just everything that happens, and the conversations continue into lunch and breakfast and dinner, and taking a boat trip around the marina and having dinner and talking to everybody, and sharing your ideas and talking about what they share on social media, and like, oh my God, I love that. And like I said, I'm getting excited talking about it. I can't tell you I can't wait again. Now it's till July, but that was the experience for me.
Thank you, Matt. I honestly can't say anything better than that. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, would love it if Jay comes out, but also we hope that it helps encourage people to apply for the prize. And again, yeah, as folks have mentioned, the money's great, but the real key to the kingdom, as the metaphor that Matt used is let's build it. So we often use the metaphor of the Trojan horse, right? That it's like the prize is the Trojan horse for actually Let's Build It as well. So
Yeah.
want to share that analogy as well for any Greek and Roman mythology or classics nerds out there. But yeah, any other questions about Let's Build It or about the work that we here at Harbor Freight Tools for Schools do? And then I'm happy to share kind of an update about the 2024 prize as well after the questions.
Okay, I have another question. Actually, it's kind of a mention, and I want to ask a little bit about it. There was a professional development that Harbor Freight did yesterday.
Yes.
Fantastic. It was about how AI is going to be integrated, like the advantage of AI in your workshop, which is counterintuitive. Again, sharing ideas, not working locally, something just to, interject my own 2 cents about this philosophy is that, I think what happens is, teachers kind of get caught up in the local situation. That's where your feet are, but your career is a shop teacher and, and a community, supporter. You're building careers, you're building projects, you're building relationships with people that grow into, industry leaders. I've got students, it's like a tree. I got students working all over the world. It's amazing. And we're all still in touch. So my point is that yesterday, rather than fear the AI, Harbor Freight gave a professional development class on AI. How did you guys think about doing that? I really think that was important, and I'm going to share the link here. How did that come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I mentioned before, I'll take a step back, right? As I mentioned before, the prize application has learning module videos where we try to share what's going on in the educational landscape, but also, right, give practical piece of advice for skilled trades teachers to implement right away. So last year, for example, right, our learning module videos were about how to strengthen relationships with counselors and administrators, as well as how to create a more welcoming and inclusive environment for your skilled trades program. And we find that these learning module videos, for the teachers who really are trying to improve their program, who work hard each and every day, that it's been really refreshing for these skilled trades teachers to get this information, right? And so we wanted to broaden that, so it's not just for prize applicants or prize winners. And we've started this webinar series, right, that is about different aspects of curriculum and other ideas that they can implement into their skilled trades classroom. And so yesterday, on November 14th, right, we had a webinar about AI. And we know that AI can be, scary or frightening for skilled trades teachers, right? That any new technology can be, frustrating or worrisome, or it's like, oh, this is just another thing that I have to do or another thing I have to worry about. But we want to flip it and say, how can this be a positive thing for your program, right? And we all know how busy everyone can be, right? Everyone has so many pressures on them. And one thing that AI can do, that ChatGPT can do, is help lessen the amount of time that you have to use to create tests or to create lesson plans. And so this webinar, hosted by this brilliant Jeff Utek, right, in Washington State, is about how can you, as a skilled trades teacher, utilize this new technology to better your program, but also better your own time management, to better your own work-life balance, to just figure out ways that you can have this technology make your teaching life smoother and easier and better. And so he walked through some of those practices, and I included the YouTube link in the chat. So please feel free to check that out as well. And we hope that this webinar series continues to get skilled trades teachers to look ahead into the future, right, and figure out ways to serve the current student, right? We know that Gen Z is very, very unique, especially with their ability to use technology in their everyday lives, right? So these are some things that we're hoping to continue to make an impact on in the lives of skilled trades teachers as well.
That's awesome. The Shop Class podcast, we tried to tackle this topic as well, and we just kind of took the best we could do. We had some teachers jump in, tell us how they're using it in the classroom. I use it. We are using it to predict a project going forward, what it would look like, kind of like a vision board. I guess, Jay, if you were doing cars, you could type in what kind of the kids could just type in what kind of car they want to build. Obviously, if you got kids that can draw real fast, I would like to see them count AI second. It's pretty. I really like what Harbor Freight is doing. I'm not sure there's any other organization working as hard and as genuine, really going right for the teacher, and not just for the school. So it's a pretty amazing thing. Pretty cool. So you want to tell us about your what's coming up in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. We are already hard at work at the 2024 Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. Right. Last year, again, we had 1,009 applications. We're looking to maintain or match or even gain even more applications. And, we had applications we have now had winners from 40 states. And now we want to get winners from the remaining 10 states. And so if you are a skilled trades teacher, whether in South Carolina or in Hawaii or New Mexico, Nevada, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maine, definitely want to encourage you to apply for the prize. And I'm happy to announce that the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence will be launching in mid-March, right? And we will mid-March of 2024. So if you want to get updates on it, go to our website at hftforschools.org and join our email network, and you'll be able to receive the updates right as we are launching. So, and we will again be awarding $1.5 million to 25 outstanding skilled trades teachers again as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. But let me just say also that it's been an honor to be with you all, and Matt and Jay, it's so great to see you guys as always. And Ron, thank you for having me on. And I hope that everyone here and also everyone listening has a wonderful and refreshing and relaxing Thanksgiving and a very happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate, whether that's Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope you have a great time with loved ones as well.
Thank you so much, Tae. Just so you know what's going to happen after you go is we're going to talk with some of the past winners and find out the impact the prize money had on their program, what they did with it. Hey, what'd you do with the money? Type of thing. But I know that, and the Shop Class podcast community knows that BloomQuest used some of the money to build a project, and we did it last summer. And so I have to thank Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. You guys provided the money used for an amazing project where we did an off-grid system. And so you chose a good prize winner who chose wisely with what he did with the money. And it was just an incredible project that involved a lot of shop teachers. So the Shop Class podcast and Freight Tools for Schools have other always share ideas, and the prize money from the contest actually went directly to buying the parts that were needed. So these are some of the parts. These are the Victron inverter system, which converts DC energy back into AC. And here's us in the middle of the night, motivated as hell. We're just installing panels. Rain was coming the next day. We did this in 3 days. It's just such an incredible thing. I'm just going to skip to the end here. This is us carrying the whole thing back out there. Here's Tim. Look how happy this is a teacher. Summer break. Super excited. This is amazing. So Look at the results of the celebration of shop class. So Tae and Harbor Freight, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you all again. And we look forward to continuing to spotlight amazing skilled trade teachers and stories like this, but also for now and for many, many years to come. So thank you all again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and again, a refreshing and relaxing holiday season.
Wait.
Oh.
We got one question. Tim,
okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So Tae, we appreciate everything you did for us with the Harbor Freight and Matt and everything. The other thing is Ron and I then went out and we promoted Harbor Freight and Matt's program at our local state convention.
Oh.
And then we advertised the Tools for Schools program there for other teachers in the state in case they haven't heard about that. So hopefully you were following along when we were out doing that in Taylorville, because we were trying to tag Harbor Freight Tools for Schools and everything. So hopefully you were able to see what happened out there, and we're able to get show your supervisors and your superiors what we did.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our communications team is very active on social media and is making sure that these stories are being shared and also spotlighted. And yeah, our job really is to, not only to advance excellent skilled trades education, but really to shine a light on it and to illuminate it for others in the world out there. So Tim, thank you for sharing that note. And yeah, we're really happy to continue spreading the word about all the impact and difference that you all make in the lives of your students and in your communities for generations to come. So thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
That's good stuff. Thanks, Tae.
Thank you all.
Cool. All right. So that was awesome. It's great having him here. So I think we can open it up to a little discussion, but then the move now is, well, hey, what'd you do with the money? That's what we want to know. So we want to talk to Jay. We haven't talked to Jay in like 2 years, maybe. And Andrew sometimes pops in, so we're gonna ask him what he did. And Bluegrass, I think, do you still have money left in the account?
Yeah, we just talked about what I did with our money and stuff. Personal money is spent because obviously I have 6 kids, and which you guys got to see kind of a little bit of that craziness when you guys were here in Taylorville. But personal money, got to spend on. We did a family vacation out to Colorado. Obviously, it helped out with Christmas and any whatever. I think we had to fix a car at one point for a few $100, and it just kind of went into the general everyday living fun, of being a busy, active family. And I think I helped cover a bunch of hotel rooms or whatever whenever we had some sports travel stuff and stuff. So just that's kind of how my personal stuff got spent. And then of course everyone just got to see and talk about what we've done with the solar stuff. But yeah, I do have money still left over. That solar thing only took up about, I don't know, 15 grand-ish total, 12, 15, which would have been a lot more if we would have had to buy the solar panels. But luckily we got them donated. And then I spent a handful of money. So I had 35,000. I think I still got about 15 grand sitting around. That
Wow.
I will probably just nickel and dime away from kind of here on out. I don't have any. The solar thing was the big thing, and bought some specialty tools that I kind of wanted to all have and setups, and we did that. And so yeah, last time I looked, I think there was somewhere around 15 grand chilling in there still. So that will probably take me a while. The first 2/3 went pretty quick. The last third will.
Now, don't you have a bread truck that you're going to convert into something?
Yes. Well, yeah. So that was raised through my friends at Sashco helped me raise that. So yeah, we had the bread truck on the job site. We were using it for storage stuff. We decided to start building it out and everything. We're just going to start using it, see what we put in there, and then we'll build out from how we use it. but
Nice.
that's actually been very handy to have on the job site right now. It's
Oh,
been
really?
yeah, it's been a nice overflow for our storage in like temporary materials or things like that. And the kids and I have already started talking about, what we should do to fix it up a little bit. And it runs like a beast, man. It's like 4-speed diesel. You guys,
wow.
you guys back there.
That's amazing.
But yeah,
Two questions.
a little bit of the Harbor Freight money will probably go to fix that thing up too. Plus, I got some money left over from what Sashko raised to take care of stuff. So, but yeah, that was my big thing. So, anxious to hear what Jay and Andrew and them did, and that's always a fun topic at that Let's Build It too. What are you going to use the money for? What did you use the money for? A lot of people, I will say this, a lot of people took some pretty sweet vacations. The people who are retiring or older, like that are, empty nesters who this truly is a bonus money for them, got to do some cool things personally. Being a 40 in the young 40s with family, mine was not as exciting for what I spent my money on as some of those guys and gals who are retired, close to retired or whatever. They gotta take some dream trips of they didn't wait in a lifetime to take. So yeah, definitely apply. It's at school, it helps, and we're working on finding loopholes for places that don't allow the teacher to personally accept the money. So we're trying to find loopholes, and we actually talk about that amongst the teachers about how we can work it around. And I wish I could remember that somebody had a really good idea. I'll have to come back whenever I think of that. I'll have to share that. But if your school or district doesn't allow it, we may want to find some legal friends to take care of that, because I think it's coming down to people are starting to realize if you go the right route, about anybody can get the money.
Yeah, that's a problem in high school.
Yeah, Tim's got to deal with that. Yep. I think Nick may have to deal with that.
Money. Privately.
Washington State people had to deal with it too. So that is something to keep working on and trying to figure out to find the loopholes or work the system, I guess you could say, because God knows the system will work us. So,
Matt, did you have any timeline for how long you have to spend the money that's donated to the school, like 5 years, 10 years, 3 months?
There's no restriction. Like Harbor Freight, the only thing they do is they put it in there that the school can't use it anywhere else. So teachers that were retiring literally took their personal cut and left $35,000, $70,000 to the next person coming in. They don't even know who that teacher may even be. Now, some of them did know who their teacher coming up were, but those retiree people, they left it there for that person because it has to stay there. Of course, your own personal money, it's your personal money. You spend it how you wish, but and of course they 1099. Yeah. So just heads up on, it is income. So it will affect your taxes some, but you only get taxed if you make money, right?
That's awesome, man. I'm so excited to see what you do with part 2. I'll tell you what, I do think you have the right idea in that you should do big projects. So, if you buy 1 million little screwdrivers, someone's just going to lose those screwdrivers one day anyway. But the big projects, man, they make the big impact. So I'm glad you spent it in a chunk,
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, obviously, you should always be money wise and cautious, but it's an opportunity for you to do something big, for sure. And for me, just around half of my money was able to do something pretty huge. So it's now granted, some of you guys are trying to buy, big time, like especially in metal shops, those big time CNC plasma cutter stuff that can wipe it out. But that's a pretty big thing that keeps on paying back for you, of course. I think I would go with that, with the encouragement of, don't just blow it on something because you think it's fun, but make sure there's some, extra benefits that not only benefit, maybe a dream that you've had to do with your students or your class or your program, but, that make sure teachers, or in my case, us as shop all got to do together, and, take the opportunity to kind of think bigger with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Where's the bread truck? Can we see it? Is it in one of these photos?
Scroll down, you may see it. I don't know. It's
Oh, there
probably
it
in the video. Oh, yep, there it is over there in the corner. Yep.
I think Jay's got some ideas, man.
I know.
And I know that Andrew is like really creative. So you got, dude, Matt, bro.
I'll just drive it up. What day in Wisconsin, right? I'll drive it up, then we'll head over to New York, catch Andrew, let him do some cool stuff for it, and
road
swing
trip.
by Ron. We'll put an electric motor in it, and
yeah, we'll put a Tesla unit in there.
It'll be a traveling project.
Man, we have a roundtable discussion one night about what to do about the bread truck. That'd be kind of cool. And we got a couple other past guests that have done wild stuff with trailers. The Brain Bucket Man, he would be interesting to talk to. Brant, is that his name? Brant, right? Yeah,
Brant, the tool hacker.
Yeah, the tool hacker, right? So, okay, let's go over to Jay for a little bit. Andrew, I know you got you're here and it's late, but let me go to Jay. We haven't talked to Jay in a while. Jay, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Ron. How are you?
Good. Dude, thanks for joining in. Man, we interviewed you so long ago. Was that 3 years ago, maybe?
I think it was right after we were coming off the prize win. I think that was 2021. So
that is awesome, man. And so tell us, what have you done with the money?
I don't have any in the bank like Matt. I spent it all. So the personal money, like Matt, I mean, I'm 40. I got kids. That goes quick. So we invested most of that in my wife's business. She owns a couple of businesses, and she's my little entrepreneur. So I made a sound investment there, and maybe bought some credit with upper management. So that was a good move. And the school money, you asked Tae if there was anything that, a school or anyone could do to prepare, for that grant process. And I think the most important thing is if you're confident, I was certain I was going to win. I thought it was a process because, like Matt said, the first year I think I got a $100 gift card. And then the next year I got a $250 gift card, and, and so on and so forth. So I just figured mathematically I was moving my way up. So the whole year before we won, I kept telling everybody I was going to win. and so I not only did I have a budget and an idea in mind of what I wanted to spend on, but I started working with my vendors. And I said, hey, if I'm going to buy I ended up buying a tire changer and a wheel balancer, those are $10,000 plus machines. And I'm not paying full sticker on that. I'm a school, I'm a bleeding charity. You got to give me a deal. So I started working with my vendors before I ever won the grant to start, maximizing that money and making that investment really pay off. Because for us, it was a capital investment. We were buying equipment, replacing a tire changer and a wheel balancer in particular that were, I don't even know. I mean, they're from the 90s, man. We're pushing 30 years and beyond antiquated. Really struggling with modern wheel and tire combos. And so, I'm getting ready to spend, I won $50,000, so $35,000 for my program. There's my wheel balancer. There you go. And, those two machines I knew were going to be potentially half or maybe even more of that grant money. And so I really needed to get a good deal on those. And I went to SEMA that year. I was working direct with manufacturers, and then I ended up coming back and working with my local O'Reilly's rep. And I have a relationship with Coates, and through my local connections and my vendors, I was able to get a really good deal. I mean, the installer that come from Coates, he's like, I don't know what you paid for these things, but I've never seen that number on a machine before. And I said, that's right, I got the school discount, man.
That's
so
a really good idea. Again, sharing ideas. I didn't think of that. Like, if I know what I'm going to do with the money, why should I pay full price? It's not for me. It's for the school. or at least we should at least build the relationship. It's not just about getting a discount. It's that
Right.
relationship you build with the vendor. Say, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going for this prize. If we get it, this is what I want to buy for the students. And that, you know, they might prep it and get it ready for you. That's a
Yeah.
really good
Well,
idea.
No, I mean, you guys are all shop teachers. When you buy equipment, you know, the worst thing about equipment is maintaining it or fixing it or whatever. And so, again, if I can buy local from my local vendor and get a really good deal, but also, again, like you said, build that relationship, then when it needs repairs, when it needs parts, you know, when I get stuck and I can't figure out how to use something, you know, whatever it is, then I have that local network to bounce back on. And so, and really, I relied on them. I also bought a new, you know, OBT2 scanner. You know, we had a couple scanners and some outdated stuff too. And so we needed, you know, the tablet style wireless stuff, you know, top of the line. And I could have bought a Snap-on or really any other brand. But again, through my O'Reilly's account, I purchased a Bosch scanner, which never would have even been on my radar. But we were able to, you know, work with a rep that was knowledgeable with the product, that was able to, you know, walk me through it and get me comfortable with it. There's my scanner. There you go. You're good at this. You're finding them all. And, you know, to this day, if I had an issue, if I had a software update or something like that, you know, that's a phone call to my local store that's 10 minutes down the street, and they're going to make that happen versus had I bought that, you know, online or maybe, you know, direct, something like that. It just wouldn't have that same level of service as I do with those relationships that we've built.
That's awesome. That's a really cool. I like that idea. Get the suppliers ready. Geez, you know, I'm thinking about what I would do. You know, I like all the CNC stuff, but we did get one CNC machine. You know, it's kind of like I have to think about what to get. But I was thinking about robot arm. You know, Leif Sorgel from upstate New York. I think he went and got a robot arm. And it can do welding. It can do, not that I want to replace the welders, but, you know, you just don't know what's coming down the pike here in the next 10 years, you know. Pretty cool. Let's jump over to Jay Hanger for a minute. Well, actually, what about this project? It looks awesome. What's going on here?
You looking at that Jeep there?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know, where are you finding those pictures? Which ones are you looking at there?
Oh, that's your Instagram.
Okay. All right. On our Facebook page, we just updated this. We actually just completed that project. So that was a pre-COVID project, you know, donated to us, and we put them together. All these cars that we get, you know, we get them donated, we restore them, or we hot rod them, or we do whatever, and then we sell them, and we're able to, you know, keep the money and put it into our program. And not that we're like, you know, getting rich here. I mean, we're spending money and we're making money, and we're just probably calling it a wash at some point. But we get a lot of tools and materials and certainly parts for builds like this. And so that Jeep actually started right before COVID. We kind of got started on it and then got shut down for a little bit and then jumped back on it. And it's actually been pretty much done since, I would say, the end of last school year. And then just a few weeks ago, put the finishing touches, the wheels and tires, the stripes, and it's just, I mean, the thing is top notch right now. And we were going to auction it. We were actually going to go to Mecum, and we missed that date in October. And then we were thinking about putting it on Bring a Trailer. And long story short, the people that originally donated the vehicle actually want it back. So we're gonna negotiate a good deal there, and they're really generous and actually already made us a very generous offer. And so we're looking to finalize that, and I think we're going to send that Jeep home. It's like a family heirloom to them. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like, even better, man. It's really going full circle for them. So
nice. And so I want to jump to Andrew, but I think he might be up in the loft somewhere. I'm not even sure. Andrew's always busy. Well, he'll get to us when he can. So if I want to jump in with anything, let's see. Nick and Duke and Tim, what would you guys get the money if you won? What would happen? You got anything in mind?
I'm still sticking to the original plan.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get one of those
Yeah.
the Boston Dynamics Spot
Oh,
Mini.
dog.
I want a shop dog for my shop.
Yeah, man. That's
Every
wild.
shop needs a shop dog. So I'm gonna have a robotic one.
Yeah, man. Like this one.
That's it.
I tell you what, it's terrifying.
Yeah, but how cool would that be to walk into like breakfast duty
Dude.
with your robotic dog?
And it's wild. Like you literally just push, like it's on a remote. You can push it forward. It will not bump into things. It's like a real dog. It's just kind of like, look, I'm so excited. it'll avoid walls. And watch out what you do with these claws, because like it's strong. Like it'll grab stuff and carry it. It's pretty wild. I think we're scaring Jay over here. You know. No,
Yeah, like you're at breakfast duty and the kid cuts the line. You don't have to say nothing. You just send the dog after him.
it's wild, you know. But listen, this stuff is happening, you know, and especially with the AI and the programming getting easier, and you know, classic cars will never go out of style, but the job, a lot of jobs are getting automated, and so you got to be the creative project leader, you know, that the world needs. Come up with cool ideas. You know, being the doer is good, but you might have to think about what happens if the doer gets replaced with, you know, the robot doer. You know, so it's like it's a possibility. I mean, look at the ATM machines. That's an old, obvious one. I mean, how many bank tellers are there when you walk into a bank? Maybe one. You know, and there's like 10 ATMs on every corner. And back. And welcome back. You know, Bloomquist, can we get this guy some insulation from Rockwell or something? I feel like he's always out there suffering. He looks like me from when I had my Englewood apartment. Oh my God, that thing had you know, the wind would go right through. Andrew, what do you think? What happened to the money, man? Where's the money? Now you won a couple years ago, and what did you end up doing with it?
I have about half of it in the bank still.
Oh wow, no kidding.
So that's cool. We have an account. But like in New York, I don't get any of the money. So it's all to the program.
Yeah, happens.
I spent about 23,000 right away.
Wow.
I bought a welder for like 13 grand, and then I bought the little mobile arc, Miller mobile arcs. The little VRs are like $2 grand each. I bought a handful of those, so that way I could like integrate that into my class. And one of the things I kind of sold that with as well is like through like not only Harbor Freight but other grants that I want. I bought more of those as well. But those kind of help sell the program. So when my students go out, they could be like, this is welding. This is how, like, this is essentially what you're doing, but in real life. So like the whole AI thing, like if I see like robotic type of thing, that makes sense. And we're trying to get a robot. We got it approved, but the money got taken for another school project on campus. So I wrote another grant, so I'll see how that goes on the 30th. So we'll see if that happens. But
Okay.
for the most part, the money's been great. The funny thing is, you know, like when you finally have money in the bank, you don't really need it. That's kind of how it's been. Like we have an end of school budget, like most of us. If you don't use it, you lose it. With the COVID money, I assume. I have no idea how the financials work at school, but at the end of the year, they say, do you need anything special? And you make a list and you submit it and you mark 1, 2, and 3. And last year they approved 1, 2, and 3, all of my priorities. The annoying part is if you don't use it quickly on the list, like you submitted your request here and you know you got approval. If you don't actually submit like your invoice or your PO to the purchasing people, then it gets bumped down, and then if there's no money, then you kind of lost out on your opportunity. But for the most part, we just so that should be exciting to kind of get the students to start using that. More industry stuff, when you like everybody thinks welding, it's just melting a couple plates together, and it's, you know, that's not it anymore. It's a lot more than just welding. So we're trying to like, we have a CNC plasma in the back corner, works pretty good, has a lot of, you know, little quirks that we always have to kind of deal with. But the students help me fix it and all that type of stuff. But for the most part, like Harbor Freight's been great. Scott and Bob, two of the main guys over there, they came and stopped by the campus maybe 3 weeks ago, and they just wanted to see what was up, how it's going, see my program, see the rest of the campus, see how they're, you know, like kind of promoting, also be like, hey, your peer over here won 50 grand and we'd love to give you 50 grand too. Like they talked to some of the teachers and I told them kind of like their stories kind of quickly, and they're just like, why, like you should submit an application. Like and luckily we have a couple of new staff members that are they just came into the positions where they can start to apply. So we're hoping to get a couple more people to submit their application over there. So, but yeah,
The competition's
Let's Build
getting
It
fierce,
is,
man.
yeah, Let's Build It is definitely like awesome. It's kind of like Matt was saying, like you're at a whole different level. Like I'm enthusiastic about teaching and welding and all that good stuff. So like when you go to PD and people are just like, oh, I can't wait to leave. Like some PD I understand is like that. Like it's like, all right. But like when you're in the groove with a professional development that doesn't really feel like professional development, and it feels like you are gonna take so much out of this and bring all these great ideas back to your school and implement them, it's like a different feeling. You know what I mean? Like it's a good feeling now. And it's just like, it's nice to see that there's other people out there putting in the effort like you are. I know everybody here on the podcast does the same thing, but like when you're out there and you have, you know, 50 to 100 teachers that are on the same boat, it's a different thing than just like a Zoom meeting. And I know, like, sorry, my air compressor is going on. So yeah, so that was, you know, it's definitely worth it to apply if you're eligible and all that type of stuff.
That's awesome.
It would be nice if I got 50.
It's funny because, you know, yeah. Well, no, listen, man, it's good. I'm glad you applied anyway. I didn't know if the school would let me keep it, so I just applied anyway. And if they took it, you know, I mean, you know, it's all gonna come back to me anyway, just by building the community around me, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, what's kind of, yeah, go ahead.
No, like everybody, like it was just like, it was kind of funny because the check that they sent for like all the publicity said like Rock Limbosis 35,000, Andrew Swagus 15. So like everybody's like, what do you do with money? And I was just like, nothing, I didn't get it. And they were just like, oh, that sucks. And I was like, well, I already knew. It's not like it was a surprise. I already knew that was the case when I applied. And it's not like, I mean, obviously 15 grand would go a long way. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not necessarily doing it for like my benefit. In a way I am, obviously, through, you know, developing the program, making the classroom a better place for the students, making them more prepared for the workforce to have a more successful career. So that's like, it never really bothered me at all. Like, I mean, it's funny because you hear some of the teachers when you go to Let's Build It, like, oh, I did this or I did that. And they're like, what did you do? And I'm like, nothing, you know, went right back into the school, which is like, you know, but that's why we applied, really. Like, that's why they're picking us. They're like, they know our intentions. So
yeah,
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's an incredible thing, the shop teacher phenomenon, and it's, like I say with all the shop class podcast intentions is that I don't want to wait an island, I want to ideas. I want to talk with other shop teachers, and it's amazing that Harbor Freight is like just connecting the dots. Incredible, we were gonna have another shop teacher pop in, Leif Sorgel, but he didn't come in. I know he's got kids and everything, so like everybody's busy. It's okay. But I know that he did buy. I think he did buy the Tormach robot arm. So we'll see what happens with that. But I would like to. I want to go back to Jay for a sec. Jay, what big projects you got coming along? Like you got the car. Anything we should?
You should. We actually, speaking of once you're in the club, there are additional Harbor Freight grants that, Harbor Freight Tools for Schools grants that you can apply for. And we did this little project grant, and we got $5,000 to fix a vehicle for a veteran. That was our pet project that we wanted to do. And we raised a bunch more money and made a bunch of connections. And long story short, we got an RV for a homeless veteran, a local guy, a guy that I knew, a couple years older than me, but a guy that I knew from our hometown. Didn't really have a place to live, was really, kind of on hard times. And we were able to get an RV donated from Cunis RV, which is an RV dealership group, through a partnership. I know you're going to talk about the network, friend of a friend hooked us up with these guys. So we got this huge Class A, motorhome, took the $5,000, completely gutted and refurbished this thing, plumbing, electrical, interior, flooring, paint, bed, TVs, everything. And we were just about wrapping that thing up. And then my wife says to me one day, I'm sure you guys go home and tell your wives all about these tech ed missions. And they're just like, great, this is good, Jay. Tell me more about cars, And as, did you ever think of putting some stuff in the RV? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this thing's over budget. This is crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean stuff? And she's like, like kitchen utensils, plates, canned goods. And I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. So she takes this thing on and makes a list, treats it like her house. She walks through this RV and makes this list and sends it out to social media land. And the entire town of Freedom, within about an hour and a half, had every item on that list spoken for and donated on my doorstep in probably less than a week. And so we took this RV and then filled it, to the brim with food and utensils and like bathroom stuff. Just all the things that you think about if you buy a house, right? And it's, brand new, it's empty, you got to fill it. So that's what we did. We filled it. And that's 100% on my wife's doing. And, I was telling the story to a former shop teacher, a guy that used to be my metal shop teacher next to me for a bunch of years. And he's an RV guy, got a fifth wheel to Florida, in the winter. And he's like, oh, I want to buy you a grill. I know exactly what he needs. And so he buys this $300 Blackstone, like camper special grill. It's what all the RV guys use. And so things like that, it's crazy how people want to get behind you on projects like this. And so we got this RV. We got a local company, Clink Equipment, good friends of ours. They do, heavy duty and stuff like that. There's some chassis mechanical stuff that's just too big for us. Like that RV didn't even fit in our shop door. So Clink took it to their shop, did a bunch of the smaller things. And our Facebook page for this project is Freedom Wheels, if you want to look that up. And so Freedom Wheels became our tagline and our mantra. And so we're hoping that we can continue this, get some more additional grants and do maybe one car a year for somebody local, preferably a veteran. We like serving veterans. What better group to serve than our veterans? And we actually did a smaller project, a van for a local veteran that came through another donation. And also Harbor Freight Tools for Schools was involved in that one as well. But then this RV, man, this just set it off. And I get Facebook posts and messages from our veteran, and like, dude just sent me a message, 2 days ago. He's in New Mexico, like he left. There it is. He left Freedom, Wisconsin, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, and he's just journeying west, finding warmer climates. And this is a guy that was, destitute. He was living in his car.
It's proven that when you're in hospice,
now he
people
is
live.
living in this RV. He's cooking himself meals. He's got 2 dogs, and you can see the smile on his face that this has changed his life, and so there's nothing more powerful, more impactful that we can do. And Harbor Freight Tools for Schools just did a little Instagram reel on that too. I know it's on
that's
Instagram.
mercy.
Uh-oh. You good? I lost you guys there for a
Did we
second.
lose Jay, or did we lose Ron?
This is probably the best opportunity we've ever had, and maybe the most impactful project that we've ever done.
Jay Abbotts is the automotive instructor at Freedom High School. Of course they work on cars, but thanks to a recent grant from the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, the Auto Club is making a difference for a disabled veteran experiencing homelessness.
Served in the Army, had an injury, really has had a tough time, has been in and out of the hospital.
Abbotts using the grant and connecting with some local small businesses who also wanted to help.
So Kunis came on and really searched everywhere, all their dealerships, and they have a big network, and found us this perfect RV.
I can't think of a better cause.
Kunis RV finding this beauty.
Like I said, it's easy to say it, but very few get up and actually do something about it.
Conveniently already gutted.
No table,
no couch.
And ready for the Auto Club to come in and work some magic.
It's amazing.
Caden, a recent Freedom High School graduate who worked extensively on the project.
Mainly the cabinet back here was a big part of it.
Proud of the work and an opportunity.
Have peace.
And making sure it's ready for the road.
It's really rewarding.
Clink Equipment donating time and talents to handle safety and proper inspections, testing everything to make sure it's safe for travel. The veteran not wanting his identity shared, but Abbott says he's beyond thankful.
Our community really came behind us, the town of Freedom.
And the community also coming together, filling these cabinets with everything he's going to need.
My wife, Jamie, that was entirely her idea. I'm just a nuts and bolts guy. I would have just been wrenching on this thing. I never thought to actually fill it with a bunch of cool stuff. So we made a list of housewares.
They'll still take donations for future projects to help others in need, creating a tradition of giving back.
I can't think of anything better, a more worthy cause than to serve our veterans that do so much for us.
In Freedom, Emily Beyer, Action 2 News.
That's pretty cool, man. Could you guys hear the video good?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So that's awesome. Wow. And what role did Harper play in that? That was a great took care of that?
Yeah, so there's an additional grant, and it was $5,000. So there was a couple different smaller things that you could apply. Once you're a prize member and you're in the club, you can apply for these smaller grants. And we were fortunate enough. That was actually our second one. The first one was for the van that we did for a local veteran, and then this second one was for the RV.
Oh, there's 2. Okay,
yeah.
I got you. No kidding. That's awesome, man. Great project. What a cool thing. Building something for a community. There used to be this, well, it's probably still around, but there's cars for kids, not the donation, but what it was. There's a feature that cars for the, and then they have to get approved through a process and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, nothing like empowering people, sometimes they need a machine. Sometimes they need training. Well, that's great to know that there's other grants, not just the main grand prize.
Yeah.
And why haven't you gone to LA? What's going on? We're gonna put you on the spot.
But I'm always I made the mistake of telling them the first year. I was like, I don't know, man, July's for Jay. You know what I mean? that's like my vacation month. But then every year after that, my wife, I end up working for my wife in these businesses that she starts, man. So we just, like Matt said, we just filled out the thing to say if we were coming or not. And I did the maybe, Matt. I marked the maybe, and we literally, she's starting a separate business, and we'll probably be like opening and probably just hit deep in that thing about June. So the odds of me bailing out June or July aren't great this year, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to excommunicate me if I don't show up at
Automotive skill.
You know, it's because, you know, part of the thing about teaching is that your summer's off to do cool stuff. And that's where you recharge. And that's where you come back into the classroom ready to go. I think if they just had us there the whole time, that would probably not work out well. That's too much. So understandable. Now this is a similar situation just from Harbor Freight. This video we just watched.
That's the same project. That's the RV.
The kids are going through the shop and things like that. They're looking out there and like, oh, who's got that RV out there? I'm like, oh, that's ours. That's us.
We're fixing up an RV for a veteran who needs somewhere to live.
This is great. We're going to use our automotive skill set, maybe a little of our collision skill set. We're going to fix cars for people in need.
It's cool to get my hands on something that's so important and give this guy something that he can really change his life.
It gets me going. It hits me a little bit because this is so much more impactful than anything else that we can do.
I just feel like I'm doing a good thing. I love helping out veterans.
This makes a huge difference for us and for him.
That's great. Thanks for doing that. You know, it's funny. The veterans, man, they go out to war and then they come back, and it's very difficult when they come back. We don't even have to go into how difficult it is for them. It's great when we support them. Support the coming back. They risk their lives for us. Very cool. Awesome stuff, man. This is awesome. Now, what about what other any car projects going on? Tell us.
So we're wrapping up that Jeep. That thing's pretty much done. In some of those shots, you see our 75 C10, that Chevy pickup. That's all slammed out, airbags, and we started painting that last spring. So we're just actually going to start back up on that November 30th, Thursday nights. So we start our Thursday night auto club up pretty soon, and we're hoping to have that done maybe end of the school year. That's got a fancy Wagner LS engine in it. I mean, it's like the show truck of show trucks when that thing's done. So we're thinking like C10 Nationals, and probably get Harbor Freight kind of money for that thing when we sell it. We'll be rich again. But we always got some old stuff going on. We got 37 olds in the back. You can see my 51 Chevy in the background behind me here. So we always got the classics going, man. And we do plenty of late model stuff too, but nobody ever wants to talk about new cars, just old cars, man.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a question for you, Jay. What should Matt do with the bread truck? Did you see that thing?
Yeah. So for the record, I've already converted to. I did a box truck like that, and then I did a limo bus for my wife's business. She runs a boutique, so we have mobile boutiques is what we have. So yeah, I love that. That's the diesel, man. That's what I got in that bus too. I got a diesel in the second one. The first one was a gasser, big mistake. So.
What's the Instagram of your wife's business?
Freedom Road Fashion.
I remember this.
She better have some bus pictures on there, man.
Okay. So what should you do? Go ahead. I
mean, it's great. Like Matt, I can envision, you got that space and you're just figuring out how to use that, and how, if you do want a shelf, do want to do this, and just, on the job site, that's your mobile classroom right there. That's awesome, dude. I would love to have something like that for sure.
And Matt, what do you think, man? What kind of work do you think you're gonna?
Hold on one second. I was answering a question to Carmen.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. That's okay.
and then I'll swing back around here to you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
No, Matt's got an awesome setup as it is, between his mobile classroom and the little job site trailer that he has where he keeps all of his tools and everything. That's phenomenal. I mean, that having that bread truck is just going to really, just help the whole logistics over there, because there is stuff that he can't store anywhere. Like he can't store a lot of sheet goods in his mobile classroom because he's got kids in there. And then he's got that tool trailer, which is pretty much packed to the gills with tools. So, he's got a cool setup.
Yeah. Nick's got a bread truck. Is it still sitting there, Nick?
Yep.
How many trees are growing through the engine bay?
Just one through the bumper. It's only a little sapling.
Nah, to be fair, if I didn't have to move, that's what would happen to some of my vehicles. Oh man, that's funny. Okay.
I'd really like to get my 72 Jeep on the road.
All right, that would be good. You got to do it as a project, man. It's never going to get done. You're too busy giving away all your skills.
Yeah.
The shoemaker has no shoes for their kids, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the situation. Pretty cool. So I think we've gone over a lot. I think this episode is kind of, I just want to catch some of that vibe, some of that, Harbor Freight situation. And let's see, maybe Duke, you have an idea for what you would do with the money besides the robot. You're going to get the dog, right? But is there any other ideas you got out there?
I'm sticking with the dog.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. He's going dog.
It might be a bad decision, but the school's not going to give me money for a robotic dog.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with it. Plus, if the kids get excited about robots, that would take it to the next level.
Okay, Jay's out. 2%. Jay, thanks so much. I'll see you coming up. This is really good. Yeah, we'll kind of wrap it up from here. Pretty good. Maybe we could just hang and talk and stuff. But Peter, Peter usually jumps in a lot. Peter, give us some feedback. What if you were a teacher, what would you get with the money from the Harbor Freight Award?
As it is relevant to the class being taught. The big ticket items that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to budget for through the request from the school board. Those are the things, the extra stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily see, and doing a project that's big and getting parts and pieces and make it fun for the kids. When kids are having fun learning, they're not even having to try. They're going to learn it all and take it in and keep it.
Yeah. Geez, I think I would probably get some sort of robotic thing going. I don't know what I would do exactly. I wish I could hire another teacher, that would be kind of cool. Because the thing is the equipment that kind of comes and goes, but if you get a teacher going, they got the energy, man. Anyway, all right. Well, we could wrap it up from here. I think we covered a lot. It's an important thing that Harbor Freight is doing. We're going to contact some of the winners over the next couple of weeks and months, and get some of them on the show and find out what they're doing with the money, what they want to do. And I definitely encourage everybody to apply. But going back to my original questions for Tae, how does a district prepare? I think that is very important because the district is part of it. And I love the answer that Jay gave, which is that you want to get your suppliers ready as well. So it's not just, build the relationships with suppliers, get them ready for what you think you're going to buy. And then who knows, maybe they give it to you anyway, So you win by just participating, Oh, Tim, did we ever ask you what are you going to get if you win the award?
Oh no, I've been in and out running around behind the scenes here. I would get probably a laser for my room. We have a laser in our program, but it's just sometimes you need two going on at one time. May not necessarily be the same size as what we already have, but maybe something smaller. I might look into replacing some of the equipment, like the smaller hand tool equipment that we have, like portable power tools. I'd also probably get for as bad as this sounds, I'd actually put a third table saw in my shop. Believe it or not. It's just like the past couple of days, the table saws have just been tied up with projects. Like I was doing those frame projects I'm working on, which are awards. I've had the saw set up for that and trying to get things dialed in. So it's now that's interfering with the class. It was just so yeah. That's probably what I would do for initially, but there could be other things.
Yeah.
Maybe a huge drum sander or something. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, there you
something
go.
like industrial sander. That'd be neat. We already have a CNC, so I wouldn't go that route.
Nice. We have a huge grinder that we might move because we don't have a use for it. It's like really big, like massive grinding wheel on it. Anyway, all right. So any last thoughts from anyone before we wrap up? Andrew, thanks for coming in. I think he's keeping busy, which is really good. I know he's got his side business as well. By the way, Andrew's going to Skills USA, I think, and I think we talked about that last time. He's killing it. He's doing some good stuff. So thank you, Andrew, for coming in. And Peter, thanks for joining. Tomorrow, don't forget, I have my students doing the off-grid system. They are presenting. So if you're on the email list, you'll get an invite for to give commentary on what you think of the project. I'll have to get you on there, Andrew. It's I think it's at 1 p.m. or probably 1:45. I'll put you in there.
Yeah, 1 o'clock Thursday.
1 o'clock Thursday. All right. Okay. Any last thoughts, Andrew, before we end the recording?
What's Nick getting?
Oh yeah, Nick. What are you gonna get?
He lives in New York, but
yeah. What would you get if you won the award, Nick?
Yeah. The school district gets all my money. No, I'd probably update or upgrade some of the long overdue machines in the room, and we have a laser. We have the shop bot over at the middle school that I could bring over. Probably upgrade some welding stuff, metalworking stuff.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Andrew, any last thoughts before we take off or end the recording?
No, not really. Yeah.
That's all right. All right.
My kid, I don't want to do it on the recording, but my kid made it to Alabama.
Well, nice.
We're going to Alabama. So,
wow, that's now what's that called? World Skills?
Yeah. So we got a busy.
That's for welding. Nice work. Congratulations.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah. So,
all right.
So it's more stress. But that's okay. It's good stress.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, Shop Class Podcast. Thanks for coming in.
It's learning how the world well.
What's that? Oh, bad connection. Okay. Shop Class Podcast. Thanks for joining in. We've got a lot of updates on the Spotify and the YouTube, and we're going to plan our events for the next summer and lots going on over here. Okay. Thanks a lot.